think Taylor and Taylor will start on, I don't know what direction I'm facing, this side. Bad with directions. That's west. South side. Taylor start on the south side, I think.
somebody fill it with water and turn up the heat because it's time for a crab boil. It's the 2022 Atlanta Open here on the AVP Tour, the first stop in our Gold Series. Cameron Irwin alongside Dane Blanton. And yes, the brothers are facing off, I believe, for the third time this season. Taylor Sander and Taylor Crabb are battling it out against none other than Trevor Crabb and Bourne. These two teams met just a week ago, and the direction went to and Trevor, Dane Blanton.
Yeah, it's crazy. Every one of those sets was 21-19. They won both of those matches in straight sets, and Trevor and they definitely have the upper hand. Look for some revenge here this afternoon.
So revenge, is that on the menu? We are yet to find out. We've got Mark Sherman down on the sand to get us our intros. Down to you, bud.
Oh, yes, I have been very, very excited for this one when I saw the potential on the schedule. And yes, and here we are matching that potential. Let's do it. One of these guys will finish with a 9th place. The other team moves on. So let's meet the guys, shall we? This first guy coming out of Corona, California, the one not from Hawaii. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, he is oh so much fun to watch. He's got an absolute cannon of a shoulder. Let me hear it for the Olympian, Mr. Taylor Sander. And his partner, one of the 3 out of Honolulu, Hawaii, has been impressing for so long. One of the favorite volleyball players around the USA and around the world. Let me hear it for Taylor Crabb. And their opponents first up. Let's meet Taylor's brother, shall we? Because this is a good old-fashioned crab boil. Now, Trevor has guaranteed a few times that he's going to win a tournament, and when he guarantees it, he follows through, and he is looking to keep that streak going here in Atlanta. Let me hear it for Trevor Crabb. And his partner absolutely dialed in, also out of Honolulu, Hawaii. When he gets locked in, ladies and gentlemen, nobody can stop him, whether it's on defense, at the net, on the service line. He is hot from everywhere. Let me hear it for Mr. Bourne.
All right, so a few meetings between these two teams, and I would say a few more than that between the meetings of brothers. Again, Cameron Irwin alongside Dane Blanton. And these two teams, just 1 week of difference. Could this be the time the Taylor gang are victorious?
Yeah, I expect a lot of fireworks out of Taylor Crabb and his partner Taylor Sander. They got to be hungry. They've lost 2 straight, and both of them were in straight sets. So we'll be looking out for that.
And this is a win or go home type of situation as the first serve is now underway.
Over.
Nice snap to the corner for Trevor Crabb, 32 years old, out of Honolulu, Hawaii, as are Bourne, and of course Taylor Crabb. Taylor Sander, originally out of Corona, California, 2-time Olympian on the indoor side. Bronze medalist as well. Trevor, beautifully done in terms of walking into that one. And the finger gun is out. There's also a guarantee on the line right now, Dane Blanton. Trevor Crabb guaranteeing the victory just a week ago, and he also guaranteed that this would be back-to-back titles for him and his partner, Trevor and
And remember, he is 3 for 3 on his guarantees, so trying to make good, but his work cut out for him here. Already in the contenders bracket, a long way to go.
Tough serve from Sander. Nice touch block. It's got to go on 2. And turning that is Taylor Sander. Great play.
Well, we're going to see a lot of ball control out of these four athletes right here. Beautiful touch by Sander. And a quick play over the net, catching Trevor and Try a little bit off guard.
Full send on the set. Beautifully done. Try in the back. Follows that to the line, and I think that's a dagger. They're pointing to the sand.
It's funny, throughout the weekend, seeing a lot of players make conscious decisions to let very close balls go, and they end up being in bounds. You want to play the close ones.
Taylor Sander, known for his tough serve. That one just a few inches wide of the sideline. Brought that from the indoor game. It's a little bit of an all or nothing serve. Definitely a part of the arsenal of Taylor and Taylor. Ace serve. Let's look at the number 2 seed, their 16th AVP tournament as partners. 3 wins in that partnership in terms of titles, including Fort Lauderdale just a week ago. Tries there, wants to keep that on his side, but he's gonna have to play defense again. Gets a nice touch, but not enough.
What a solid soft block by Trevor Crabb at the net. Looked like Bourne got kind of dug in a little too deep, expecting the heat. Could not make the adjustment to get out of the sand, all tied at 4.
Trevor from the middle. And it's high in the stands. Bye-bye ball.
Big crush right there by Trevor Crabb. Going right at his brother.
Next level play right there from Bourne. That ball goes just off the edge of the block. Point, Sander and Crabb.
Really quick play right there by Taylor Crabb to get that ball over and in the back line before the defense could get set.
5th tournament for Crabb and Sander together as partners. Taylor Crabb had been playing alongside Jake Gibb, as they had an Olympic run just a year ago. And of course, Bourne filling in for Taylor Crabb in Tokyo after having to deal with some COVID on the side of Taylor Crabb. Olympian nonetheless, both Try and Taylor. Now looking to make it to 2024 with new partners. That's a snap ball from the Long Beach State 49er.
That was awesome right there. That ball hit the ground before Bourne could even react. As we take a look at the replay, comes in and thunders it. It hits a pocket in the back of the court and just flies 25 feet in the air.
Again, out of the middle, using the net as that extra contact. Carving Trevor Crabb.
It's nice to see these 4 athletes going at it. They know one another really well. And it's been some clean volleyball thus far. That ball into the net. Great control by Taylor to his partner Sander. But then Trevor with a nice little roll shot and the point.
Finding the open space is Taylor Crabb. Keeping things even to this point. Try and Trevor took a loss to get to here. That came against Andy Benish and Nick Lucena. Did a first round win over Cody Caldwell and David Lee.
Go.
Taylor in transition.
Coming. Over.
Gotta go. Back-to-back digs, Taylor Crabb. And this crowd is loving it.
Just an awesome play on both sides of the net. There you see Trevor get that ball up, but he almost knows where this is going to go. Right down the middle, knows his brother well, and then he tries to go down the middle. Look at Taylor stepping in and making the defensive play, and then it's Taylor Crabb who has the last laugh.
Taking the pace off is Sander. Good recognition of the option.
Rare unforced error right there by Sander into the bottom of the net.
Tough serve to the right sideline. Oh. Big swing.
Huge challenge right there. Taylor Sander going right at Trevor Crabb and winning the battle, taking that 9-8 lead.
Popping that one deep into the court. Nice tough serve. And Trevor Crabb is just so good at that slap shot into the angle.
Gets up, really controls it, takes a look at the defense, and he's so physical and he's so athletic. He gets up so high that doesn't have to put a ton of heat on it, just get it to the spot quickly.
I like the communication there. I don't know if you caught it at home. But that was Taylor Sanders saying, thanks, Trevor, for the missed serve. See if things start to heat up in terms of the chatter out on the court here. Oh, what an ace! Taylor Sander.
That's one thing Taylor Sander has brought to the beach. The bomb of a jump serve that we see often indoor, which he competed in the 2016 and 2020 Olympics, two-time Olympian. And you know, it's fun to see some of these indoor players come out to the beach and really enhance the game. He bombs that serve.
Adding a ton of stress. You're okay with an occasional miss as well, right? When you've got a ball like that coming from the service line.
Oh,
it's that
absolutely.
balance, right?
Absolutely. Because a team on the receiving end like that is going to side out more times than not. So you roll the dice, try to get them out of system.
So you're looking at the winners from just a week ago in Fort Lauderdale. Let's see how that one played out.
Back to action here for the AVP Pro Series Fort Lauderdale Open. Move on to set number 2 of the men's final. Bourne and Trevor Crabb taking on Theo Brunner and Kame Schock. Trevor Crabb guaranteeing a victory here in Florida. He's never won outside of the state of California, but winning that deuce game in set number 1 over Theo Brunner and Kame Schock. So 5 serving 3. Early action here of set number 2 in the men's final. It's dig by Trevor. A one-footed takeoff as Theo drops. 1 point from the technical timeout. It's down to Bourne on the left. And Bourne continues to fire on all cylinders. Match point opportunity number 2 now. Strong jump serve taken. Trevor on 2. And they've done it. Guarantee comes through. Trevor Crabb and Bourne are your AVP Fort Lauderdale champions, getting the win over Theo Brunner and Kame Schock in 2 decisive sets.
So a championship from just a week ago. They're looking to go back to back, something that teams have not done on the 2022 tour. No team has won 2 titles, and doing something like that could very likely help their case. It's now French fries on the board. As a look now, there's a look at the 2022 champions. See Tri and Trevor just there. They are in the contenders bracket here, though, so they're going to have to do some heavy lifting to get back to that final. Speaking of finals, Taylor and Taylor, they've made it to 2 this season. But still looking for that first title for Taylor Sander on the beach.
Yeah, knocking on the door. They had a little bit of a taste getting to the final, but they would love to get over that hump and get their first victory.
Great stab, Taylor Crabb. And that's Sander in the backcourt. Is it double block time? No, that's not gonna work. I formation is not quite functional. All now. Stadium court filled in now. Let's take a look at some of the numbers. We're actually getting a chance to track all 4 of these athletes here on Stadium court in terms of all sorts of different metrics, from distance traveled to time off the sand, their highest touch, as well as the total number of jumps, which all become that much more critical in heat like this. There's a great look. There's Taylor Sanders' numbers thus far, 29 total jumps and a high of 29.7 inches. And to give you some perspective, Dane, what's the difference indoor to sand in terms of vertical?
You know, I think 5 to 7, 5 to 8 inches different, because, you know, Taylor Sander, though, he's a 40-plus indoor jump.
And not just at 30. That's crazy. That's the difference the sand makes on these athletes. So fun to see some of those numbers come up on screen, as another number will come up because Trevor Crabb earns a block. Slicing is Taylor Sander. 14 all on the side switch as you take a look at where we are at in terms of men's seeds. If they are in yellow, that means they're in the contenders bracket. So yes, you are reading that right. 1 through 4, all in contenders bracket matches and play.
You see number 8 down there, Allen and Casabir have been eliminated. So some upsets happening this weekend in Atlanta.
Definitely showing the parity and depth here in Atlanta, as well as across the tour. All of this ramping up, of course, this being our first stop on the Gold Series circuit. We go to Manhattan Beach as well as Chicago, all culminating in the championships come September in Phoenix, Arizona. More points, more prize money.
That play you're not going to see in the stat book right there. The disruption by Bourne. Huge block in front of Taylor Crabb, and it forces him to go out of bounds.
High spinning ball. The hands are pulled out from Tri. All day is the call from Trevor Crabb.
All day, baby. That's what he said to his brother. He's just, you know, keep hitting that cross court and we're going to dig it. He's feeling it right now. Trevor Crabb.
Quote unquote black hat on tour, wearing it proudly. All day, says Taylor Crabb. Right off the block. Call it the Crabb Boil. Crabb versus Crabb. Partners for 12 AVP tournaments previously. It's the 18th meeting, though, between them, where they've had to face off against one another. Try and Trevor return to the 2022 tour, having been one of the few teams to have partnered alongside one another in previous seasons. Two points of difference now as we near that 21-point mark.
Yeah, to this point, it's been Try and Trevor a little more sharp, capitalizing on opportunities a little bit more, but very well played on both sides. Very high level, and it's only going to get chippier as this goes on.
Get a little more cloud cover here into Stadium Court. Taylor Crabb in the line. Tight ball. Another. Slam dunk. Try Bourne.
That's interesting there. I would argue that if I was out there, because who's the attacker in this position?
It's a good question.
I believe that's an overset, and by dropping that one arm, Try open hand just threw it down, but we got no argument there, so we play on.
Dane's not letting that go. Shaking his head as some more numbers come up on screen. 2,273 feet traveled for Try Bourne. See his total jumps, 36 there. There, the vertical on Sander. It's gone up, remarkably so, 31.2. All I heard was John Spraw.
I heard the same thing. I think he's giving Taylor a hard time. Of course, John Spraw, the head coach of the U.S. national team. But who knows what he was referring to right there.
It's set point for Try and Trevor. Hot pocket, Taylor Crabb. Kaboom.
Impressive right there. Taylor Crabb, the National Player of the Year at Long Beach State, as an outside hitter, and that's why right there. Crossbody coming back. They're playing in the angle there, and he still beats them with a huge bounce.
Was told he was too undersized to be an outside. He's proved everyone wrong. His entire journey, just 6 feet tall. You can see the vertical there. That's going to help.
Angle.
Big block. It's getting chippy again. I'm not sure what Sander said. Somebody mic these men up.
Boom, straight down, great timing, jumping late into the angle, and then under the net with a few words of wisdom from Taylor Sander, and a lot of chatter there, but Bourne and Crabb looking really solid.
Very solid. So 20-19. Timeout has been taken. Right now, I got to figure out a little game strategy. This conversation Jose Loyola had previously been the coach of these two.
Like a soft like that.
Now taking a position with USA Volleyball.
Big question is, can they come up with another play like we just saw? Bourne and Crabb will have another opportunity to receive serve, and of course, usually in the sport of volleyball, when you're receiving, you have that advantage to side out. This is going to be a huge play coming up.
Serve on the side of Crabb and Sander. Taylor Crabb will have the honors.
Here's what you're thinking here. Tough serve, but definitely don't want to miss this. So there's that happy medium. Looks like he's going to stay flat-footed for this one.
Gives Trevor the opportunity. And he executes. 21-19. Bourne and Crabb continue the trek, taking another set off of Crabb and Sander. Crabb and Sander look to rebound to stay alive here in Atlanta.
Dear Mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear lots of you have discovered a real Hawaiian favorite, Big Wave Golden Ale. That's the good kind of stuff, yeah, bro. Maybe it's the island flavor that makes each sip taste like a little vacation.
Got your beers here.
That's a whole lot of little vacations right there, huh, brother? That's like a big vacation. Retirement. One life, right? Mahalo. Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
Welcome back to Atlanta, where all sorts of shenanigans are happening here on Stadium Court. But let's take a look at our set one stats. As the first set did go to Bourne and Trevor Crabb, Dane Blanton and Cameron Irwin. Dane, what are you seeing?
Well, really equal if you look at across the board. You know, hitting percentage kind of negligible, and the blocks canceling each other out, as well as the aces, Bourne and Trevor Crabb having one more there. But high-level volleyball. Here's the interesting thing. That's the fifth set between these two teams, and guess what? Every score has been 21-19. That is a little bit eerie.
It's really, really odd. All of them going the direction of and Trevor.
It's crazy. 5 21-19s in a row, all going the same direction.
So what's the difference maker? What's the 2 points? That's marginal.
It's making it happen in the end, that 15-21, and it's just a couple of plays, a couple of huge stuff blocks or tough serves happening at the right time. And the track record really says that it's been about and Trevor making those big plays in the end of each set.
Well, and you saw it on screen there just for a moment, and that was the fact that and Trevor are pretty phenomenal, especially when winning that first set. So things definitely tending their direction in that regard. Dane Blanton in the booth right now working on some blocking technique moves. I don't know if that's
I'm learning.
Oh, you're learning?
Yeah, there's always room for
Okay.
education and such great blockers. I think Bourne, maybe the best undersized. They call him undersized. He's 6'5", but his position is so great where he puts his hand. And then Trevor on the other side of the net. He's doing his thing, and you know it's fun to see the evolution of the game. It's gotten so much faster. Late moves gotten so important in the blocking schemes.
Watch for these two actually make it 3 blockers, assert themselves as there's a split blocking duo in and Trevor.
And we pick up where we left off in terms of the trash talking through the net. And pretty much all in good fun with these four.
Until it's not. Taylor coming in with such quick feet. That approach so deceptive. Looks like he could take a rip at the ball in the last second. Just turns that down the line.
Big block by Sander, late move into the angle, and Bourne tries to lift that ball up, but can't get control of it. Taking a look here, look at the last minute dive into the angle, kind of baiting Trevor Crabb into that one.
Nice back set from Bourne. Making an unforced error. Short jump float.
Well, maybe, just maybe, the Taylors have found something. Going to Trevor Crabb a couple times, 2 hitting errors back to back right there, and they were pretty solid sets.
Will he make it a streak? An unfortunate one. Says no. Closing it off, 2-4. Crabb with an incredible angle. Making the side switch. Rich Lamborn going to the other side, the coach for Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander.
Yeah, they've really, excuse me, come out strong here in this second set, sensing the urgency early on and seeing some really nicely placed shots, and they're going to have to keep up that consistency. Keep trying Trevor guessing.
Five-3, 2 days thus far through Atlanta. We've had 12 total matches, or will have 12 total matches here on Stadium Court after a lightning and weather delay yesterday. 48 jumps now for Trevor Crabb. Dialed is Taylor.
Kind of downshifted there, placed that ball. That wasn't his complete unleash hit. He's got so many different tempos, and that's how you keep the defense off guard, giving them different looks each and every time.
Option. Sliding underneath that is Taylor Crabb. And Dame, you've talked about it on the day. When you're trying to cut that and it hits the top of the tape, most likely going out.
Yeah, not a lot of room for error once you clip the top of the tape, and as soon as Tri hit it, he knew it was a little too sharp. That ball was going to roll out of bounds.
So at 8-3, it's time for a timeout. Bourne and Trevor Crabb trying to slow things down here.
Yeah, fantastic start by Crabb and Sander. You know, everybody kind of speculated how this team would do in this 2022 season, and being a new team, the Taylors, and they haven't really disappointed. They've just run into a few teams that have been a little bit hotter than them at times, but it's so fun to watch them play because of the athleticism. Taylor Sander, you know, he's 6'5", but a solid blocker. A lot of people thought that he would have trouble at the net full time, and It's actually interesting. Be interesting to see Taylor Sander with a big block playing full-time defense, because he's a volleyball player. He can play anywhere. Play at the net, play defense, and do the whole thing. And then we already know about Taylor Crabb, who's just amazing. You know, he's won MVPs on the AVP, I mentioned earlier. Won a National Player of the Year at Long Beach State. This guy can do it all. And right on cue, a spectacular athletic play by Taylor Sander. That was impressive.
Well, and it's so fun. I actually caught up with Taylor Crabb in regards to Taylor Sander now training. Take a look at this.
There's kind of the 360, and with the left hand, Taylor Sander just ripped that ball. Try that at home.
But Taylor Crabb saying of his partner, Taylor Sander is there. He's already balling out just like he thought he would as that ball falls right in the lap of Taylor Crabb. He said he's grown so fast in such a short period of time and will only continue to get better. One of the best players in the United States. He really can do it all. Those are the words of Taylor Crabb. Tough serve from Bourne. (5-9) on the switch.
Here's a look at the serve right down the middle. Taylor Crabb tries to get his hands on it, but there's just a little bit too much velocity on that.
Bourne. Jump top. Again, sneaking that under the armpit. Taylor Crabb unleashes.
It's almost as if Bourne knew that was going to happen, but the arm swing just too quick. Tries to protect against it. And he doesn't have any real estate. That's the crazy thing. The defender's actually playing angle, and he bounces it around him.
Trying to find some different ways for offense. Trying Trevor. Four-point differential now. 51 total jumps for Trevor Crabb. Make an additional dig and kill. Nice out-of-system setting from Bourne.
Oh, just amazing right there. And they make it look easy. You know, you're watching at home, you're thinking this is just regular. Try that down at the beach. Facing your body to the back of the court, setting it over your shoulder in the perfect location. Takes a lot of practice. Looks like the Taylors were in a little bit of trouble right there, but they get out of it with the retreating blocker. So important. That's the difference between great teams and elite teams, having that ability to get out of trouble when you're in a compromising position.
Again, finding his slap shot into the angle. It's been a little bit of a tale of two sets here. You know, we're early in set number 2, but Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander hitting 700 in set 2. Inching our way towards the technical timeout. of those boards right there. It's a scary thought. It's 13-8 as we head into the technical timeout. We've got Olympians just about everywhere. There's probably enough for everyone in this stadium to take one home. So let's take a look. Dane, you like that? You want an Olympian? You want an Olympian? Well, let's walk through them a little bit as Tri and Trevor head to their bench and their umbrella. Here's a look at our beach Olympians on the sand. Phil Dahlhauser, of course, the 4-time Olympian. And Tri Bourne highlighted in 2020. Do I mention the name just beneath him? I guess I probably should, since he's my partner on the beach. Dane Bland, look at that. Olympic gold medalist as well, right here in the booth alongside me.
The only difference is all of those players are still on the sand.
That is true. Well, you're in the sand in a sense, right? So, of course, Tri Bourne in that mix, having filled in for it. That man right there, Taylor Crabb, last year, who made the trip to Tokyo, then had to deal with COVID. And take a look here. This is your indoor Olympians now on the sand. So John Hyden, David Lee, Paul Lutman all in action. Taylor Sander obviously highlighted as he's underneath the booth. And that last name, that's the man on the left side of the screen with the very small muscles, Rich Lamborn. Also a couple Olympic rings to be added to that man.
You think he lifted before this match?
That's a great question.
To get a little pump?
So a nice, steady second set for those two coming back out, Crabb and Sander. Look for them to continue an aggressive style of play. That's something Rich Lamborn has talked about, wanting to find those small differences. We talked about just 2 points of difference between these two teams in each of the previous sets they faced off against one another. Could it be Crabb and Sander continuing to swing away in those tight moments? Out of the technical. Tough serve on the way. Option. And that's something you'll see at times from Crabb and Sander, and that's the fact that when they want Taylor Sander to unleash, they'll put Crabb up at the net, at least for that first play. Tri Bourne makes them pay. Here's a look at Taylor Crabb.
Oh, what a shot, Tay!
And he's staring down Tri Bourne. So, Dean, do you think Sander's the guy to take Taylor Crabb to 2024?
You know, that's an interesting question. I love Taylor Sanders' game. I've seen him at the net. I haven't seen him play like defense full time, but we know what Taylor Crabb can do behind a really solid block. So Taylor Crabb's got a solid block. I'm going to say yes. I think they're committed to play together, and I think they can do some amazing things. And I think every time they're stepping on the court, they're starting to work on that chemistry even more. But they've got a long way to go. But I think they're one of 3 teams right now positioned for the United States to make it to Paris.
Who are the 3?
These 2 teams and Kame Shaw and Theo Brunner.
That's a great call. Another.
But it's early, right? I mean,
Very.
We're not even into qualification, so it's a lot of speculation at this point, and we don't even know if these pairs will be together in a year. That's always the case. But Tri and Trevor have played together for some time now.
And again, Tri Bourne showing his skill set in transition.
I think all of these players kind of are interchangeable.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, I don't look at any of one of these players and say, oh, he's a blocker, or oh, he's a defender. I think they can all plug in. I guess maybe the only one that's not a dual player would be Taylor Crabb. I wouldn't expect him to be up at the net. Love the stare down at the end of that one.
15-12 now. Crabb and Sander need this set.
Don't you agree, though, those other three players
without
could
a doubt.
play?
Without a doubt. I think they all have, you know, obviously unique and individual skill sets. One may be a little more proficient in one area, but make up the difference in another. How about that set? The bump jump. Is that Peter Marciniak?
Marciniak is good at the jump bump.
That one was from behind his back. I think he gets
nice.
double points for that.
It's nice, great position right there. It's always nice when you're bettering the ball, we call it. The pass might be a little awry and to the left, but then you as a setter get in there, you better the ball. Put it in a better position than you found it.
14 digs now for Taylor Crabb. Double axe handle. He almost pairs it with the boop. Lefty again. He says, what, you want another? Here's the southpaw.
And if you didn't know that he hit it with his left, he let the crowd know.
Just wave to him. Just stick that left hand up there. Here's a look at it.
Here it comes, switches to that left at the last second. And he's got that ability.
Add that to the scouting report. Starting to get away from Bourne and Crabb. Trailing by 6.
I think I heard the call too slow through the net on that one coming from his brother.
It's not like that old hands battle game. Is it an ace? Oh, man.
Cannot let that ball go. It's just too close. Why not control your own destiny, pass that ball, put it away, rather than risk an ace?
Option. (13-19) now. Put themselves in a steady position here. Try Bourne for aces. Something definitely to note with one service error. That's a tough one. Taylor Crabb at the net. I mean, you like the gamesmanship, right, Dane?
It was awesome. And it was the best sky ball that I've seen in a long time in a real match. And that ball, that's what you want. If you can get it to land 3 feet from the net, it's very difficult receiving.
Did he punt that? That thing is gone.
Yeah, Trevor might want to work on that right there. He kind of got caught up in the situation there, maybe not focusing on the serve. That ended up about 25 feet long.
So 21-14, Crabb and Sander have finally broke the streak of 21-19.
At Corner Bakery, we're making your choice simple with choose 2 options every day. Choose 2 of your favorites and turn a simple lunch into a perfectly paired meal. And we're not talking about a few choose 2 options. Pair up any sandwich or panini, any cafe fresh salad or warm simmering soup, or any pan sauteed pasta. So many kitchen crafted options, so little time. Your perfect choose 2 combination is waiting at the Corner Bakery.
Dear mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear that most of you only disable your phones when you fly. You call it airplane mode. But maybe you don't have to get on a plane to get away, yeah? Allow my brother to demonstrate. You know what we call this? Kona mode. One life, right? Mahalo. Longboard Island Lager and Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
The brothers met at the net. The coin has been flipped, and Atlanta is very excited because we have third set action just about to get underway between Taylor Crabb, Taylor Sander, Bourne, and Trevor Crabb. Take a look at the numbers. This is your set 2 stats. See the total number of jumps and feet traveled in yellow, highlighted at the bottom. Fun one to keep track of. You can only imagine the spreadsheet that's going to come out of this tournament with all those numbers in there. But the 684 definitely sticking out in terms of efficiency for those two. At one point, they'd reached the 700 mark. This is the 7th men's match to go 3 sets this week. As a reminder, the guarantee is on the line from Trevor Crabb, saying they're going back-to-back in terms of titles. Thanks so much for joining us here on the AVP Tour, the first stop on the Gold Series circuit here in Atlanta. We're going to be playing under the lights. Those are going to be soon to come on here at Atlantic Station. Mark Sherman's down on the sand having a good time with the rest of this rowdy crew. We've had 3 courts in action throughout the weekend. Right now, this is men's contenders bracket play. So 15 points separates you from moving on or going home.
I really like the fact that the crowd is filing in. I think during the day it's gotten so hot it's difficult to sit in the bleachers when it's really, really hot. So you see all the crowd on courts 2, court 3, court 1 as well, but now it's kind of getting some focus as we get into the evening hours, and there's a lot of energy. This crowd, very knowledgeable, very fired up, and they're being entertained.
Yeah, I gotta love that. Third set, let's go. Look like a Casey Patterson, Jake Gibbs swing right there, the deep middle.
Deep middle is usually a pretty vulnerable spot in the defense. If you're confused as a hitter, you might as well go deep middle.
There's the wrist, the angle that Taylor Crabb can hit. So sharp at just 6 feet tall. Getting a little extra help. Some net love for Trevor Crabb.
I don't know if Bourne has worked on it, but his hands are even better than they used to be. And he's very confident using them.
Yeah, that's definitely something that has stuck out to me as well in this matchup. There's a look at Try's numbers: 19 attacks, 8 kills, 2 errors, hitting .316. But him bettering the ball in transition has definitely been on display. And there's that same ball. This time it's a little bit of a loop over the top of Try's block.
You can tell that Try and Trevor are really trying to get Taylor to roll that shot over and down the line, and he's noticing the defensive set and going angle every time.
Taylor trying to sneak in there. Brothers chest bump across. Ships passing in the night, more like crashing in the night.
I know they used to be roommates. Is that no longer?
Well, I think that's
ago?
safe to say, considering the fact that they're brothers.
No, just a couple years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Not when they were kids, Cameron. Jeez.
Nice job, baby!
3-all now.
It was funny though, because even in those days they were really going at one another, and they actually lived together.
Yep.
I can't imagine that they still do.
There's a look at Sander in terms of his numbers. 4-3. Great rivalry, but also a lot of great love between those two brothers. Great set. And high off the hands Again, I want to go back to that point. What happens when things get close? What is Taylor going to do? Is he going to keep swinging like that? Because if so, this could go their direction.
Yeah, I think what has to happen for Tri and Trevor is they need a couple of blocks.
Did you say blocks? But the other side.
And the other side needs, it seems like right now, the Taylors are actually feeling it. They're feeling good after that second set, playing really well. And it's been kind of quiet on the side of Tri and Trevor, and that might spark them.
Keeping things close. 5-all on the switch. In terms of blocks, that's Sander with 2 now. An additional control block added in. Trevor has 1 block, as well as 2 control. There's 68 jumps for Trevor.
I don't know, I start to question, is going to Taylor Crabb the answer right now? He is so seasoned. He knows exactly the shots, and he's putting the ball away at a very high percentage. Maybe switch it up. Go to Taylor Sander, test him out a little bit.
Pick your poison. That's always the case. 6-all now as the missed serve comes off the hands of Sander. Do they make the switch?
I doubt it. I don't know. Think they can hear me? I don't know if it's the right call. I just know that
Test it.
Taylor's in a groove. Here we go.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're trying to avoid. But to your point, I do agree. You got to try it.
I think Taylor Crabb is one of the most consistent players.
Without a doubt.
And he's like a surgeon out there. He can put the ball pretty much where he wants. And Taylor Sanders still finding his footing on the beach. Although he grew up playing on the beach, he's very used to the game as well.
There's the full layout from Taylor Crabb. No one at the net. What does Trevor do? Oh, getting crafty. I don't know if that's gonna fly. The fake out on the other side, is that allowed, Dave?
Well, you definitely have an argument there.
Is that impediment?
It wasn't a volleyball play, and so he did kind of a swing at the ball, trying to distract the opposition. I don't know exactly how the rules are written there, but definitely worth an argument, that's for sure.
Great job by our crew showing you another look at that. 7-all, so I think the argument could be made at the same time. Maybe the fact that happened where the dig became too tight even before. Could that have changed the set? I'm just saying, I'm playing devil's advocate both directions, Dane.
Well, it was like a flagrant move to distract. There was no play on the ball. The ball wasn't even close to coming over.
I agree.
But I don't know if the rule actually reads that would be interference. I don't think it does. You just don't see that very often.
You do not. Slow walk becomes that much slower in this heat. It's been about a heat index of 100 degrees here in Atlanta for the 2nd straight day. You gotta grovel through this heat. Ooh, the no-look swing back to the line.
Yeah, cross body right there, the shoulder line basically perpendicular to the net when Tri comes in, and then goes full cross body back to the line. Not an easy shot.
362 for their efficiency as a team.
It's just not happening. The blocks are not coming right now for Trevor Crabb and Bourne. they've been known to turn it on late in sets and make those huge plays. So let's see if they can do it here.
Jumps for Taylor Crabb. That's a quick side out. That's what you like to see if you're Taylor or Trevor Crabb, excuse me. They go back. Taylor Crabb. And the second time Taylor Crabb has tooled the block of either Tri or Trevor.
You can tell by the smile on the face of Taylor Crabb that kind of got away with one here, tooling the block, really challenging Bourne. He hits it a little bit low, ends up hitting the net as well, and that made it, maybe gave it just enough to get out of bounds.
An ace serve off the middle ball. And a 2-point game now exists. Taylor Sander continues the track from the service line where he has been pretty deadly. That is his third ace. He has 6 errors in these 3 sets played. Sun now completely behind a cloud. Full stadium in a shadow. Option. And he put so much pace on that ball, he fell backwards.
Yeah, he timed it perfectly to get full power out of that, and so difficult. He's such an amazing athlete, Bourne. Remember, he had to deal with that rare autoimmune disease back in 2017. Wasn't sure if he could come back to the sport. Had to take the entire year off. Was very weak, lost a lot of his muscle, and then he came back with a vengeance once he finally got it figured out from a medical standpoint.
And that ball is gone. Don't even give it back, because it's going to be completely flat. 12-10.
I thought his left-handed hit earlier was the best hit I've seen. This is the best hit of the tournament. Look at the bounce, look at the elevation. This goes 8 rows up into the crowd. Wow, did he get a hold of that one?
It's a souvenir. And you come back with that. Hey, a point's a point. Rolling over the top, nice dig by Trevor Crabb. It was Taylor up at the net. We're all tied up.
There's the big play we were talking about, the roll shot, the defense. Here's a look at it. Little roll shot over the block. Crabb gets it up, and then he just detonates deep corner.
And again, the line still bouncing. Taylor finding the short angle. There's a look at 3 set numbers. 16-8 for Trevor and Tri, 5 and 4 for Crabb and Sander. Sander at the service line. Not the toss he was looking for.
Nope. Remember, these 2 teams have played twice prior to this in Austin and in Fort Lauderdale. Both victories going to Tri and Trevor in straight sets. And so now it's Crabb and Sander, the Taylors, trying to get their first win against Tri and Trevor.
Crabb challenges the block. They went with the defensive play because Taylor has been popping that ball short back to the line, so they go with the 4 call here. and he finds the edge of the block. It is match ball for Crabb and Sander. Trevor with a look. Block back. Sander says no more. 15-13, your winners. The crowd is loving this pair. The Taylor gang, Taylor Crabb, Taylor Sander.
Here's a good look at that final play. Taylor Sander jumping huge into the angle and getting the stuff block. It seemed like the blocks just came at the right time for the Taylors, and Trevor could not make it happen up at the net. What I like most is after all the back and forth, the sportsmanship at the end. All four players recognizing one another, and that rivalry is going to continue to grow.
So should we relive it again? That's the fun one. You got a chance to, of course. But these two teams doing a phenomenal job. The guarantee has officially been broken. He is now 3 of 4 in terms of that number for Trevor Crabb. But all smiles on the side of Taylor and Taylor, as well as Rich Lamborn. Take a look at the match stats.
There you look. The Taylors hitting over 500. Had a really solid one. Defense in the backcourt was on fire, and they won the blocking category for sure. A lot of touch blocks by Taylor Sander, and none other than that big one at the end.
Gotta love what you've seen from Taylor and Tanner. Taylor, can they take it all here in Atlanta?